hundreds of passengers.
What?
If he lost money or cities.
No, it makes sense,
But
right?
entre 1852, 1,000 miles.
Oh my God. Wow, that's a
By
lot
the
in a little
1860s,
time.
Hi guys.
Good day and welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite girls back again with another video. So guys, today we've been checking out a couple of videos, particularly from the USA, and we are so chilled, we are so excited, we want to check out more. Next one on our list here is that why is America
Rich.
so rich?
Why?
Actually, the title is just like
Why?
but is that actually a question to ask? But it's just out of curiosity, right? We want to know.
Yeah.
America is doing well, the nation is doing well, so we saw this video and we're like, okay, let's check it out. And we don't want to waste much of your time, so please do us hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It's to go a long way for us, and without wasting much of your time, let's go right into the
Video.
The United States is the world's most prosperous economy. It's been that way for so long, over 100 years, that we take it for granted. But how did it happen? There are many answers, of course. One is that the United States values the free market over government control of the economy. But
Okay.
here's a point that is seldom made. It didn't begin that way. Before the country placed its trust in the free market, it trusted the government to make important business decisions. Or
Okay.
to put it another way, only after the government failed repeatedly to promote economic growth, and only after private enterprise succeeded where the government failed, did the United States start to develop a world-beating economy. Let's look at three telling examples. In 1808, John Jacob Astor formed the American Fur Company and marketed American furs around the world. Europeans adored beaver hats for their peerless warmth and durability.
Okay.
Astor gave them what they wanted. Instead of leaving the fur business to capable entrepreneurs like Astor, the government decided it wanted to be in on the action. So it subsidized its own fur company run by a self-promoting government official named Thomas McKinney. McKinney should have won the competition. After all, he had the federal government backing him. But while Astor employed hundreds of people and still made a tidy profit, McKinney's company lost money every year. Finally, Congress in 1822 came to its senses and ended the subsidies for McKinney and his associates.
I see.
A similar situation developed in the 1840s around the telegraph. The telegraph was the first step toward the instant communication we have today. Invented by Samuel Morse, the telegraph transmitted sound as dots and dashes representing letters of the alphabet. Morse, more of an idealist than a businessman, agreed to let the government own and operate the telegraph in the national interest. But the government steadily lost money each month it operated the telegraph. During 1845, expenditures for the telegraph exceeded revenue by 6 to 1, and sometimes by 10 to 1. Seeing no value.
Apparently, what this goes to say is that they've experimented, right?
Yeah.
They didn't just arrive at where they are today from nowhere.
From nowhere, they must have. Yes,
The
exactly.
government, they put their trust. They've done the analysis, and now they've actually found out what works for them.
Works best.
Yeah. So this is actually amazing. Let's continue.
In the invention, Congress turned the money loser over to private enterprise. In the hands of entrepreneurs, the business took off. Telegraph promoters showed the press how it could instantly report stories occurring hundreds of miles away. Bankers, stockbrokers, and insurance companies saw how they could instantly monitor investments near and far. As the quality of service improved, telegraph lines were strung across the country, from 40 miles of wire in 1846 to 23,000 miles in 1852.
Wow, that's a
By
lot
the
in a little
1860s,
time.
the U.S. had a transcontinental telegraph wire.
Wow.
And by the end of that decade, entrepreneurs had strung a telegraph cable across the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
Why didn't the U.S. government profitably use what Morse had invented?
Exactly.
Part of the answer is that the incentives for bureaucrats differ sharply from those of entrepreneurs. When government operated the telegraph, Washington bureaucrats received no profits from the messages they sent, and the cash they lost was the taxpayers, not their own.
No wonder.
So government officials had no incentive to improve service, to find new customers, or to expand to more cities.
No, it makes sense,
But
right?
entrepreneurs like Ezra Cornell,
Wow.
the founder of Western Union, did. Cheaper, better service meant more customers and more profits. Just 15 years after Congress privatized the telegraph, both the costs of construction and the rates for service linking the major cities were as little as 1/10 of the original rates established by Washington. In the steamship business, we see the story repeated yet again.
Okay.
During the 1840s, regular steamship travel began between New York and England. The government placed its bets on shipowner Edward Collins, a man more skilled at political lobbying than at business. While Congress funded Collins, Cornelius Vanderbilt started his own steamship company. Vanderbilt cut the costs of travel, filled his ships with eager passengers, and built a fabulously successful business, soon leaving Collins in his wake. Collins failed because he didn't feel a need to improve or even provide safe and regular service. For example, 2 of his 4 ships sank, killing hundreds of passengers.
What?
If he lost money, there was always another politician to appeal
Oh,
to.
that's not nice.
Vanderbilt, in contrast, had to serve his customers or he would have lost his company. You'd think we would have learned our lesson by now. Economic prosperity comes from free enterprise, not from government subsidies. But it's a lesson we have to learn every generation.
Wow.
I'm Burton Folsom, professor of history at Hillsdale College for Prager University.
That's nice. This is super interesting and educative at the same time. So this just goes ahead. I don't think this is explanatory enough. This should actually be longer. But from what I've deducted, he just analyzed, like, summarized it in a way that a layman would understand, right? Like the process of how, to me, basically, it's about businesses. It's about how they grew and how they invested so much. They tried and saw the strategy that worked best. And that is what has made the US to be the rich in quote USA today.
And I think another thing is, like, you noticed, most times we do not need to look at the profit.
Exactly.
Profit, because I think businesses just concentrating on profit alone
Tend to crash,
yes, crash at the
exactly.
end of the day. I think we need to look at the services to humans
That you render.
Yeah, the safety, like he said, over 100 people, his ship
Sank and they
over
lost
100
their
people
lives.
died.
Just imagine.
Yes, exactly. If you have other businesses elsewhere, nobody is definitely going to trust those businesses more.
Again, that's true. So I feel like to make money, personally, my take is for you to, like, look for a service to humanity. Look for a problem and solve it. Look, money will come to you. Right now, Facebook, he doesn't even need to beg people. Like, people will even beg him to be on his platform. Do you know? Like, people will gladly buy data and give him the money for free because he has solved the problem, communication problem. You can be anywhere and communicate with your family. So look for a problem and solve it. And at the long run, you just see that everything will just fall into place. I feel like that's what American does. That's what they've been doing. They look for a problem, they solve it, and people keep coming to them. The profits keep coming to them. Everything keep falling into place. And people will say it and say, this nation is rich, this nation is this. Because this nation has actually placed itself in a situation that it does not need to beg to have. You know, it's rendering a lot of services, it's doing a lot for people. And in that way, it's getting a lot in return, back in return. So that's just the way I see it from the explanation.
I think you said something. You said trusting your government.
Yes.
I think we need to definitely. The government have failed us like several ways. Because they failed us this way, they failed us that way. But we need to just trust them. And
At
trust
some
our
point,
government.
yes. So yeah, that's it about this one. It's actually educative for me. I find it educative and The title was actually funny. Why is the USA so rich? I don't think this point I had to analyze the reason why it's so rich in general. Would have to do a lot more research for that. But for the most part, yeah, we enjoyed this one. What do you think? Why is the USA so rich? You're from the USA. What do you think? What's your thought? What's your opinion? Please share with me in the comment section. We'd like to read from you. Also, please give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed our reaction. Consider subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, it will go a long way. Thank you so much. Share this video with your friends and loved ones so you can support the channel. You can also support the channel by buying us a coffee. Link is in the description box below. It will be highly appreciated. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe out there and we'll see you all.
In our next video.
Bye.